Is our legal system beholden to a boys will be boys mentality? Does that mentality allow men to get away with foolish and destructive behavior? There are those in our society who are convinced that this is the case. However, in Chapter 5, I push back against this notion, and I make the argument that throughout our legal history, men have been very much regulated, and specifically regulated for the benefit of women and children. And I make the point that society and civilization is very much dependent on male labor and sacrifice. And the law tries to curtail anything that undermines that labor and sacrifice. So when you consider many of our vices, you take substance abuse, alcoholism, drug use. Obviously, that vice undermines a man's ability to work and to provide resources for his wife and his children. Likewise, gambling siphons away familial resources. Promiscuity, general promiscuity, and more specific forms of promiscuity, like prostitution, that results in men wasting family money on promiscuous women. Even in the past, when homosexuality was regulated, the law tended to treat male homosexuality more harshly than female homosexuality. And part of the reason for that is obviously homosexual men don't form relationships with women, and generally speaking, don't provide for women and children. Now, I know there are those who will push back on this and will say there were other reasons for these regulations. And indeed, there were. I don't want to be simplistic about this, and I don't want to take complicated issues and point to just one cause for these complicated issues. Obviously, there was a lot of reasoning that went into these regulations. But one would be hard-pressed to argue that the male duty to provide had nothing to do with these regulations. And throughout history, you can see this manifested in a lot of activist movements, whether you're talking about the temperance movement or the muckraking endeavors of the progressive era. You can sense that people start to get anxious with what they believe are the destructive tendencies of males and the resulting loss of resources for women and children. In future videos, I'm going to provide some specific examples of this.